She's the subject of a high-profile cold case in Orlando, Florida, dropping off her twins at her ex-fiance's home, which was that dude, hours after appearing on the People's Court. I'm telling you. She disappeared on November 7th, 2011 after dropping off her twins. Fiance Dale Smith Jr. is the sole person of interest, but he hid the body real well, allegedly. I don't know. This video is brought to you by Kiosk Kitsune. So they sell pins, stickers, and t-shirts for really, really affordable prices that are top tier quality. I swear, this button has been on my backpack and on my gym bag. I bought like 5 of them. Sold in the US to your doorstep. It's not gonna take like 2-3 weeks to get to you from anywhere else. If you're a huge anime fan like myself, I urge you guys to really go and support this company on their brand new Etsy store before they sell out of what little inventory they do have right now. Man, thank you again to Kiosk Kitsune. Shout out to y'all. And with that being said, let's get back to the video. Today we're talking about this girl right here. No, not him. He's suspect. But this girl right here. It turns out this girl, Michelle Parker, is actually missing. And she was found because I was just background noise watching one of my favorite shows, The People's Court. That's one of my favorite shows to drive to listen to. It actually has taught me a lot. And Judge Milian is an amazing, fair judge. Where'd she go? There she go. Look at her, gorgeous. She's an amazing, fair judge, and she'll teach people about things in court and to the viewers listening. She'll teach you a thing or two to what not to do to contracts, lending money to friends, even landlord-tenant things. But let me go ahead and stop yapping and just play the video because we're gonna investigate this girl, Michelle Parker, who went missing shortly after this episode aired, apparently.
She says the plaintiff demanded she return the ring during a heated argument.
Okay, so here's the beginning.
This is the plaintiff, Dale Smith. He says the defendant is ex-fiancé threw the engagement ring he gave her off the balcony of a hotel room during a big fight they had. He ran down 9 flights of stairs in 10 seconds, but couldn't find it. He thinks he's owed the value of the ring, which was tossed, and the defendant doesn't, so here they are. He's suing.
All right, cool. So they're there talking about this, and what got me wanting to investigate is honestly the comment section. Wonder if airing this case will trigger anything. Maybe someone will step forward with information because this was posted 2 days ago, just 2 days ago. This one is so sad to watch. She disappeared shortly after this. Never been seen again. Her twins had to grow up without her. Tragic. I wish a cold case squad would solve this. And I wonder how Judge Milian reacted to finding out this woman went missing. And I'm like, what? I gotta listen to this case because at first I didn't care.
They're drinking, everybody was hanging out, having a good time, and then we got into an argument.
The two of you did?
Yes. And
what was the argument about?
I asked her if she was having a good time, and she said, yeah, you know, this is what she's always wanted, and then...
What was what she's always wanted?
To be
be
there.
at a sci-fi convention at 3 in the morning?
Found it.
And I had made a comment, well, then you shouldn't have been sleeping around with Paul last year. And that's what started the argument. She started yelling and screaming at me, and then she threw a drink in my face.
Is this how your relationship has always been?
No.
No, besides
No,
her kid.
he's not too convincing.
When you're ready to hear, obviously, my side and let him finish, I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, but
So she talks about some domestic stuff, some dark stuff, all the stuff he's done to her. And she has always gone back to him.
Is this how it's always been between you two? That,
No.
you know, to have that kind of fight?
No, but he gets pretty malicious and vindictive, and he's a mean person, especially when he's been drinking. Any of the problems that we've ever had, it's always been alcohol related. And they're not
Are you drinking
just...
by his side while this is going on?
I'm sorry?
Are you drinking as well?
Yeah, I'm drinking with him as well. But
because a lot of women, when they think that their
into...
man gets mean when they drink, don't drink next to him, and they don't drink. They encourage him not to drink or something.
No, he gets...
And vice versa. Like, so go on.
So I ended up smashing my camera on the ground because I was a little angry and I didn't want to.
Boy, you sure showed that camera.
I did,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I didn't want to do anything to...
So bro, see, okay, red flags. Bro brings up a crazy comment to his girl when they're having a good time, starts a fight, smashes his own camera. And then I want her to tell her story.
The Hard Rock. Okay, so we were at the Hard Rock, like he said. We were with probably 300 or 400 people, and we were all drinking. And again, he made a derogatory comment to me regarding a past relationship that I had had with someone else. I never raised my voice. I never yelled at him. I just looked at him with that look like, I can't believe you just said that to me. And I simply walked away. Went down the stairs, got 10, 15 feet away from the front door, and I felt somebody grab me and yank me around. As he grabbed and turned around, he was holding on to me, screaming at me, pointing back up to the stage, going, "Get on
John, I already
back
followed
on the
you.
stage, you know." And I'm like sitting there looking at him like, really? You're really doing this in front of all these people? And he said, and he's like, if you don't like it, if you don't get back up on that stage.
Bro's a sicko. Bro's a sicko, man. Look at him. Look at his haircut. You can just tell by his haircut he's a sicko. Dead eyes, dead fish eyes, crazy, like, Nazi haircut. I think that he did it.
You can go home.
And I was like, really? At that time, of course, barbacks, bartenders, security, drug him out the front door. Security came to me to make sure that I was okay. They escorted me out the back so that I wouldn't have any conflict with him. So when I walked around front, he was standing there. He's waiting there. He's like, "Where do you think you're going?" He goes, you're not going up to the room. Oh, you're just going over the balcony. Okay, well, when I walked in, I saw 2 police officers, so I turned around, went right back to the officers. So I told the officers what was going on, what was said. They got security. They led me through the kitchen and back areas and up a security elevator, got to the room. He was there. Didn't want to let me in the room. So the officer grabbed him by his arm and said, "You're going to come out here, and you're going to talk to me."
She disappeared on November 7th, 2011 after dropping off her twins. Fiancé Dale Smith Jr. is the sole person of interest, but he hid the body real well, allegedly. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know, but this is crazy. And her car was found abandoned in a parking lot. This case remains open, with investigators still searching a property belonging to Dale Smith's father. A $200,000 reward is offered for information leading to her location or an arrest. Missing for 13 years. Now, this is literally the same exact look she had on at the People's Court. And now there's no new pictures of her. I wonder what he's doing, man. Let me see. His name is Dale Smith Jr.
The Florida True Crime Files today. The search continues for Michelle Parker. She disappeared 12 years ago today. Michelle disappeared after dropping off her twins at their father's house. And Fox 35's Kelsey Cairns talked to Michelle's family, who say that they just want closure in this case.
The holidays for the Parker family have not been the same since November 17th of 2011. And with the Thanksgiving holiday coming up, the vacant seat at the dinner table will be the reminder of their daughter Michelle's disappearance.
I don't know if Michelle's dead or alive, but I'm hoping for the best.
That beautiful face you see in those pictures, there was that beauty inside as well.
Brad and Gail Parker still have no closure. They are hoping and waiting for the day their
Oh, wow. She has people that love her.
daughter Michelle
That's a good
home.
thing.
12 years ago, Michelle and her ex-fiancé appeared on the People's Court. They faced a judge over a dispute involving a $5,000 ring. And hours before it aired on TV, Michelle disappeared.
Wow.
This will be the 12th Thanksgiving without Michelle. Can you explain to me what that feels like as a father?
With nobody, I don't know if Michelle's alive or dead.
In a phone interview with Fox 35, the tearful father reflected on how much he misses her.
That's crazy. They had billboards, they had rallies, they had search parties. And for her to just go missing right after that dispute, explaining how bad this man's domestic issues were. When was this? This was just last year. November 17th.
Michelle Parker, a mother of 3, was last seen on November 17th, 2011. 13
They
years
do
later,
it annually.
her family continues to look for her.
Yesterday, 13 years ago, she was alive and well and had hopes and dreams and, plans.
When it comes to the latest on Parker's case, her stepmom Gail says for the first time it's being taken over by Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith. She says they've worked with multiple detectives over the years.
That's the best you can do. I mean, there's no
Stepmother.
guarantees.
Oh, no, that's not the
And
mother-in-law.
it's
I'm
just
bugging.
amazing how somebody can make a person disappear and get away with it.
Police say Parker
Disappear and get away with tease. And it's just amazing how somebody can make a person disappear and get away with it.
Police say Parker disappeared right after a People's Court episode ran where she discussed a lost engagement ring. On that day, she went to drop off her twins at her ex-fiancé Dale Smith's house. And that was the last time anybody had heard from her. Smith was named as a person of interest in this case, but no one has ever been arrested in connection to her disappearance.
I do what I can to, find her. Whatever part my God has put me in as a place in her life, I'm trying to follow through.
13 years later, Parker's family continues to keep her cold case relevant in hopes they'll get an answer. In Orlando, I'm Spencer Tracy.
Yeah, that's wild. And she dropped him off and then disappeared. I mean, let me see. We're gonna find something out. What's his name again? Dale Smith Jr., Michelle Parker. What is he doing? Is Dale sad? Is Dale actively looking for the mother of his children? You could tell a lot by what their actions are. Is Dale Smith Jr. looking for Michelle Parker? No. Well, that's AI. Dale Smith Jr. is not looking for Michelle Parker. Dale Smith Jr. is a prime suspect. The Orlando Police Department named primary. Yes, we know that. Okay. Orlando Police detectives searched the property, looking for her remains under concrete slabs, but they did not find anything. A lot of times you don't hear about cold cases until you know a break has been made in the case. So everybody's anticipating, then blah, blah, blah. Wow, only about 1 in 100 cold cases are actually successful with the prosecution. He said there are only 3 ways to solve a homicide. You have to have physical evidence, witnesses, or a confession. A lot of people will be surprised to know that only about 15% of homicides are solved with physical evidence. 35% of homicides are solved with witnesses. Dale Smith Jr. has not cooperated with law enforcement. Kennedy said that shows red flags. So he's not complicit, as in cooperating with the law enforcement. Why? Why would you not cooperate? That's the mother of your children. You got 2 twins gonna grow up without their mother because you don't want to cooperate. Yo, that is insane. That is insane. Dale Smith Jr. Someone out there knows this guy, Dale Smith Jr. They know what he did to Michelle Parker, what happened. There's a huge reward for information. Look into your heart. Isn't time to bring the family some peace and bring Michelle home. Okay. Wow. Over a decade later.
You cannot possibly think it's in their best interest for them not to have seen him in 3 weeks.
No, absolutely
you cannot
not.
possibly
He's not
think it's in
taking
their best interest to say, I wasn't invited to the party, because obviously you haven't made an effort because she's sort of mad that you haven't seen it. No, I don't want to hear it. So, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anybody's justifications. You know your conscience. You know what you've allowed, what you haven't allowed. You know what you've bothered yourself to do and what you haven't bothered yourself to do. And if she doesn't let you see the kids, then you go to court about it. And if she does let you and you don't do it because it's you're having a bad time with her, then you're just a bad father. Okay? It's just that simple. Because the kids need, a 3-year-old is missing their father. They're missing their father. So you don't punish.
Now they're missing their mother. And this is why I respect Judge Milian. She lays the hammer down on people who are just truly just childish and irresponsible, no matter what they come to court for. You come to court because you're petty, she gonna call you out. You come to court because you're stupid, she gonna call you out. It's crazy how just watching people's court can get you down a rabbit hole of missing people files. And especially when Judge Milian is so invested in the litigants that she sees before her, she gets really invested in their life. The whole episode, she was just asking personal questions. It was barely about the ring, pieces until the end. And then she made her ruling. Cool, whatever. But also, devil's advocate. Maybe dude changed. Maybe dude changed after watching himself on the People's Court. Maybe after she saw the episode of the People's Court, she was embarrassed. She was sick of it. And you never know. Maybe she herself decided to just totally run away. Like she was more scared for her life than being with her children, which is horrible, by the way. That's not ever a good thing. But maybe she just, let me go full screen for this. Boom. Maybe she decided to run away and didn't want to be found. Had plans to change her name, obviously change her style, look, run away with another man, or just leave the country and just decide to never, ever come back to the life of co-parenting with a psychopath. If he didn't change, he's a psychopath. Maybe she decided to run away. Maybe he did change. Well, I mean, it can't be both, right? If he changed, she would have stayed around. So maybe he was still a psychopath. And yeah, the timeline was there. I definitely, you know, many things could have happened. And since just in 2024 November, they are still annually like reporting on Michelle Parker. I hope that something can be done. If she is missing, she needs to give her family closure and her kids closure, and, you know, come back. You don't need to run away from your whole life just because one person's crazy. That's what I wouldn't do, but I don't know the situation that she was in. And, you know, if the ex-husband ex-fiancé did something to her, then they need to find that evidence quickly.